Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the WoW Collector. We're in Black Temple today, just starting out for my Burning Crusade runs. One thing that's kind of nice about, I think, all the old runs prior to Cataclysm is you do get a ton of drops from the trash, which is just more gold in your coffers. I think it's a great thing. As you'll notice kind of later on, especially in the Warlords or Draenor raids, it's a lot of boss fights only. Most of the trash doesn't really give you much. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Additionally, Legion raids offer little to zero gold right now. I mean, you do get gold from the boss kills, about 25 gold each, but for me, it really doesn't outweigh how much you're spending in repair bills. So, it is what it is. Making our way up to the first boss here. That's High Warlord Naj'entus, I believe. And we do get one nice drop here. Just killing more trash. As you noticed in most of my videos, the first run through, we do run through the entire raid, just kind of walk you through. That way, if you've never been here before, kind of gives you an idea of what to expect and kind of where you should focus on things, if any of these things could possibly kill you. As it currently stands, there's not much that can kill you in this place, in all honesty. A couple of fights you have to wait some time for, but, I mean, generally it's not much is really going to kill you much. Those little guys on the side I've found sometimes drop loot, sometimes don't. So I usually don't kill them in those first groups. Later on, when there's a huge pack up here, they do drop some stuff. So we're just killing right here. Here, coming up on the first boss, he used to have this ability that he would bubble himself, and you'd get speared, the tank would, and the tank would have to take the spear out, and then use that spear to disable his bubble. You don't have to do that anymore, you can just kill him, he dies really quickly. It's kind of nice. He does drop two pieces here of Rising Tide Axe and Internium Shell Bracers, which are for plate wearers. So the Rising Tide Axe is pretty nice. Trial of Style is also going on right now, so as soon as I finish filming this, I am going to try to get my Trial of Style on. Looking forward to doing that. But I did want to complete a video before I moved on to that. This trash pack right here does drop decent loot. Got a couple green pieces from these guys. Motes of water also drop from them. I don't know how bags sell on your server, but I do know the cloth in here is pretty decent. And up in this area a lot, there's a lot of trash too, these next two portions. I used to kill everything on, if you look to the right behind these spires here, I used to kill a lot more of those things, or the barricades, excuse me, but I kind of stopped that. Felt like it was taking way too long, but all these trash I do kill, just it's a lot more loot. That's 3 gold plus some grays plus some nether weave. I think it's nether weave. It's the cloth that drops from here. Um, I'm really debating if I said that correctly or not. Let's see. Just kind of as we make our way through stuff, I do go across there. Netherweave cloth, yeah, I was right. So you can make the netherweave bags. They're pretty decent. They do sell for about 8 gold. So, I mean, I don't know. With me, I'm kind of saving all my cloth drops just because once I finally get a decently leveled cloth wearer, I'm gonna start making all the gear from tailoring. I'll probably do it for my warlock. It's probably the first person I do that with. And these are all green, so either A, you can unlock those mogs, or you can break those down for dust. I haven't checked the dust market. Let me pull up Undermine Journal while I'm doing this. Let me check the dust market on ours. So Undermine Journals is a great place you can go to check the prices of things. Um, and it's really a neat little tool. I can do a video on it if people need me to. I set my server to Stormrage already. What is the Burning Crusade dust though? That's the thing I'd remember. Dust. Let's see. Um, Here we go. Burning Crusade Enchanting Guide. Um, Strange Dust is what drops off these. So you can check Strange Dust on Undermine Journal. It's kind of a nice little tool. And it'll give us how much it's going for per piece. So right now it's selling for 5.56 gold. That's pretty solid. So if you don't need these greens, it'd be an excellent way to make some extra money. 5.56 gold is not bad at all. Off Supremus, I did get the Bands of the Coming Storm, which is a male bracers, and Pauldrons of the Abyssal Fury, which is for plate wearers as well. So if you look at it, the first two bosses I got something for plate. I got an axe, which could have been for plate, and then I got the bracers for the hunter. So had I brought a paladin friend, he could have unlocked two pieces already. So this place is kind of interesting. There are a bunch of demons that kind of patrol and are in set places. But these guys to the right, they are like Akama, who you're going to see later. They're called the Broken. If you kill them now, they're seen as hostile, and it's more loot. If you wait till after you kill the next boss, they become friendly, and there's no loot there. So I found what I like to do is kill them beforehand. That way it's just more loot, and it doesn't affect the story or anything. It's just you can't target them after this. So if you are farming for loot, it's a good idea to kill them. There are some stealth enemies as well. I think on the other staircase, I didn't go kill them, but I mean definitely if you feel bad about it, just kill the demons only. And those guys just directly in front of me, if I go and kill them now, I can kill them. Later on again, they will be targeted as friendly, and you cannot kill them. So it's more gold, more cloth. I am gonna start seeing if the strange dust sells on our server too. It'll be a good little pickup. So I've decided to I've been debating what I want to do. If I want to make this guy as a BOP ring I just got. I don't know if I want to make this guy a enchanter tailorer just to get more cloth and more drops from more farms, or if I want to make him an engineer. I'm still kind of debating. And I was thinking, I don't need to have him as an enchanter. I just was thinking if I want to make him a miner, or sorry, engineer and tailor, or how I wanted to do that. Still kind of debating. There's a lot of trash in this pool. This is the third boss called Shade of Akama. Um, One thing that's great is kill the trash first. Solid loot later on. The waves of trash that come out throughout this fight, if any do come, they do not drop loot. So you just want to kill these first groups here, and then go after the boss. As you can see, some of those guys I just killed, they came in the first wave and they didn't drop any loot. Um, so of course I wanted to loot it right away. And a lot of the purple things you see dropping are gems that were I don't know if they were legendary gems, but they were the top end gems during this expansion. I haven't found them selling at all in the auction house, so I just vendor those. If I'm stupid, please let me know in the comments. Something just kind of been looking at. So you kill that trash, it unleashes Akama's, shadowy figure, if you will. Kill the trash off him. Then phase 2 starts, where you're able to target this shade or the shadow. Kill him, one shot him, and then you can loot him. He did drop Ring of Deceitful Intent and the Seeker's Wrist Guards, which were for plate wearers. The video is gonna get kind of weird here because my bags were full before I killed him, so I summoned my Guild Herald. He's a pet, the guy you can see behind me, and I sold a bunch of my stuff. Up to the left here, these stairs, there is a vendor there, so if you find yourself at any point being full, go sell your stuff there. It makes it a lot easier. There also is one in, I can't think of the place now. My gosh. Sorry, Karazhan. Oh my gosh, I can't forgot that. So in the Karazhan raid, there is a vendor that you can sell stuff to as well. It's another Burning Crusade raid, but he was really far into the raid. This one's pretty quick. I mean, after 2 bosses, you can sell stuff. This is another haul of just tons of trash, tons of loot options. You can make decent gold in here. I will start showing a farming video and just kind of the runs I make in Molten Core, which I've been doing a lot of running. I don't feel like there's great drops in there. I did get a T-Boo's swords. I was pretty happy about that. This stuff for 350,000 on my server. So let me see what the current price is right now. Yeah, T-Boo's Blazing Sword right now is selling for 286,000 gold on my server. That dropped at a Molten Core. So I've just kind of made it a point to every time I run these things just to kill everything, loot everything. It's just more gold and it's getting me towards, hopefully, unlocking my Brontosaur mount. And I know some people have been flipping BFA, herbs, and iron and all that good stuff, but for me, I like to keep it a little easier. I mean, I just like the vendor stuff because it's an immediate impact on your current gold. Now, that being said, if you find anything cheap and you can flip it, by all means, but I feel like Classic's impact on our economy is really going to affect things a lot. So many people who are hardcore players went over to Classic, and there were a lot of people who were flipping things in the market, and I think they bought a lot of things, and I feel like the demand's going to drop immensely. So the sword that dropped in Molten Core was Tibu's Blazing Longsword. It was not Tibu's Scorching Straight Sword, just in case you were curious. The Straight Sword, I think, is the one that drops 350 item level. I'm trying to think where that drops from. I think it drops in BFA, I want to say. And the one I'm talking about is Tibu's Blazing Longsword, which is from Vanilla. So we are approaching we'll say the fourth boss here. Yeah, Teron Gorefiend. Before when we couldn't kill him in 1 or 2 hits, he used to put this debuff on you that would kill one person within a set amount of time. So when you used to farm this place, back in Cataclysm really, it was hard to solo because he would kill you. It was an instant kill too, there wasn't anything you can do about it. That's why I popped all my abilities, but let's see what he drops here. Pattern of Living Earth Bindings, which I think is for leather. Shadowmoon Destroyer's Drape, which is a back, and then Botanist's Gloves of Growth, which are for leather workers. They're gloves, obviously. I found a lot of BOE leather patterns dropped in here. So I raced ahead. So you had to run yourself all the way back to the middle area, back where the third boss Shade of Akama is. This is the vendor. Just wanted to kind of show you guys where he was at. Also, once you have the rep, you can buy certain patterns from these guys. So that's why I've really been contemplating what I want to do in terms of my professions. I've been going back and forth if I want to make money, if I want to have the professions for role playing. I'm not too sure, but I feel just with the lack of demand that Classic is kind of putting on retail servers, I just have this feeling the auction house is going to take a huge hit. So I haven't really wanted to jump into extra cloth and whatnot, but it is pretty lucrative. I mean, from what I was reading, someone who did 10 runs with one cloth. There's an ability to get called cloth scavenging. Basically, lets you find extra cloth. So without that, he was getting 400 Ember Silk per 10 runs in Bastion of Twilight. With the cloth scavenging, he ended up getting 1600. So it's 4 times as much cloth. So I don't know if this dust sells as well as I think it can. It might be something to look forward to. Now, most guides have Gurtogg Bloodboil up next, but I actually like to run to the right and go to the Reliquary of Souls. Reliquary? There we go. Reliquary. Oh my gosh, cannot say that. Souls, basically. Make it easy. This fight takes a little bit of time. There are 3 phases, and you cannot uh, out DPS those phases, so you really have to wait until they kind of happen. So some of the trash in here might follow you. I don't kill these guys, they don't drop anything. Sometimes I do a better job avoiding them. 3 pets can drop from here, if I remember correctly. Let's see, what are those 3 pets? And each one matches the phases, I want to say. Yeah, Fragment of Anger, Fragment of Desire, Fragment of Suffering. Each face is one of those phases. There's suffering right there. But that's 3 boss drops, or 3 pet drops. So you kill the first phase, then you wait till trash spawns, kill that trash, then phase 2, repeat, phase 3, repeat, and then run back. Yeah, I had to drink something right there. I was pretty thirsty. So, in Reliquary of Souls, I did get the Fragment of Anger. I got the Elunite Empowered Bracers for leather wearers, and Touch of Inspiration, which is an offhand item. Let me pull this up right here in Wowhead. It it looks really weird. It's so the icon that shows up is like this prismatic shard, and literally it's a blue handle with just that shard on the end. So the item icon that will come up pretty much is what it looks like in game. It looks odd to say the least. Not the greatest offhand transmog, but you know, one more thing we've collected, which is what we're doing this for in general. There are some sweet shoulders for male wearers here. It's similar to the Sky Shadow Regalia recolor. It's pretty nice. They're called the Wavemender's Mantle. I believe they would have dropped for Shaman originally. But I thought they were redone. Check the comments. They're pretty sweet. I'll just show them next time I come up. They would match Skull a lot too. So just making our way over to Gurtogg Bloodboil. In this part up here, that big guy just killed. In these next hallways, they're the only guys who dropped loot. So if you don't have to kill the large packs of trash mobs, I would avoid it. Just because it's a waste of time. You don't get any money from them. I'm coming up on Gurtogg. He dropped the Leggings of Divine Retribution, which are plate pants. So if you look at just kind of scope, 4 of these 6 boss fights, I got plate to drop, which is kind of crummy. Especially for collecting for a hunter. But first run in, we'll get some more data, kind of evaluate some things. I also might too start calculating how much gold I earn from these, just kind of get a sense of what's a good place to run through to get gold. I feel personally the Cataclysm ones are the best because the BOPs drop for about 30 gold each. Warlords of Draenor I feel don't do as well. I don't know, maybe I need to see what Highmaul does. Highmaul, there are quite a lot of bosses in there. Not much trash though. I mean, I think Blizzard tried to change things a lot when once they started Draenor and they wanted to stop people from farming these to get gold. And I want to say this is when the old raids quit offering as much gold for boss kills. So now we're back in the main area. We're gonna make a left here. We're gonna go ahead up to this next room. It's across from Shades of Akama. It was locked previously, but once you kill Gurtogg and Reliquary of Souls, it opens up, and we're met with tons of trash. These are the dens of mortal delights. Sorry, den of mortal delights. Basically a bunch of concubines, so women who please men for money, and they're just in these plush pillows off in each corner. It's really cool area. I'm curious of when running this live, I can't see many people going to these corners. I could see them killing the trash mobs that are up in front. There's a few guys who kind of walk between. You can see this guy on the table over here, and then those 2 succubi. Um, I'd want to kill those, but I mean, I think you could really just go left there and kill that group and be done with it. That little gnome that just passed me, I don't think he would summon either unless you attack them. Now, obviously, I'm looting everything, so I wanted to pull it all, but there's tons of greens as you can tell. Really need to see if Strange Dust does sell that well. I'm very curious now. Need to start working on my my enchanting on that warlock real soon here. I have 2 more tokens. I've just been debating if I'm going to use those tokens for my guys, or if I want to use those tokens for when I get the family in a while, or if I'm going to pay for accounts from them through Recruiter Friend. I'm trying to see what they're going to offer. So just making our way through more trash here. So just kind of making our way. These parts are pretty sparse in terms of ads to kill. So another room just to kill more trash. I should have checked how much gold I made. The Heart of Darkness, I'm trying to think what those are for. Let me look that up. I want to say it was for rep. You turn them in. You can sell them on the auction house, but I've never found anything to sell them for. Oh, it's a crafting regent. Okay. It's in certain tailoring and leatherworking recipes. Let me see, and blacksmithing. So, oh wow, so they are used for certain items. Oh, might be good to stock up on those. And then primals, of course, and void crystals. So yeah, a lot's needed in these actually. I didn't realize it. So we're finally making our way out here. A lot of trash groups out here as well. It's just nice because you can shoot one guy and the rest come right to you. If you're a hunter, save your AoE multi-shot until you get closer because it doesn't spread as well as it should. Um, just kind of making our way up here. So now we're at Mother Shahraz. I think I pronounced that right. She didn't. She dropped something kind of nice. She dropped Nadina's Pendant of Purity, which is something we don't really care about. But she did drop Pauldrons of all three. And so what I mean by that is, things were listed as Pauldrons of the Forgotten, and they either be Protector, Vanquisher, or Conqueror. Those are for the 9 classes. So Hunter, Warrior, and Shaman are after the Protector. But I got all 3 to drop from her, so it inevitably unlocked the shoulder token for Hunters. So it's kind of nice to pick up. I'll kind of check out the screenshots of these. Um, they are the Sky Shatter set. So they're the blue Shaman lightning shoulders, but it's kind of nice. Let me see what they are for the Hunter. Oh, for Hunter I get the eyeball ones. That's a drop from this guy. The Gronstalker Spalders is just the big old eyeball that kind of moves and twitches and closes and blinks and all that. So I kind of wanted to show a bug that's kind of shown up in retail is the Succubi. Every time you kill them, now they stand up. That's kind of an odd little thing, but more trash, more Heart of Darkness. Have been sending those to my bank alt, so it's kind of a good thing to have all those kind of saved. One last group over here. Pull all this, kill the other 2. What are those called? Priestess of Delight and Dementia. They're 2 trash mobs before the main boss. I do think there's a patrol that walks around here too as well. If you don't kill them, yeah, they're there behind her, behind Mother. You can go after them. That's kind of nice job. I wish someone else could have got to use those as well. Another thing too is the tokens sell for, let me see, I think 5 gold. But when you actually make the items, they sell for a little bit more. Let me make sure. So those shoulders sell for 6 gold, and the actual shoulder token sells for 5 gold. So if you had that class, I would use it every time and sell it because it does sell for more. So we're coming up on our next boss fight. It's the Illidari Council. It takes a little bit of time to get up there, but I remember in Cataclysm that Paladin, he was tough to beat, man. Slowly making our way up there. Um, Checking out a few of my add-ons. Also, my UI's changed a lot. In subsequent videos, you're going to see the screen of me is going to move up to top left. And I'm using Azerite UI. I think it looks a little cleaner, gets rid of a lot of the lines, a lot of the extra fluff that doesn't need to be on there. But and I'm curious to see what people think. The Illidari Council. So when I talked about the tokens, just to reconfirm, Hunter, Shaman, Warrior are Protector. So what was kind of nice is I did get the Leggings of the Forgotten Protector from the Illidari Council. I got 2 Forest Prowlers Helms, which... Let me see those drop. On Wildhat, it's kind of nice. It has all the items that do drop from these. Forest Prowlers Helms are for male. They are the eyeball helmet to match the eyeball shoulders. It completes the look. It's interesting. It's something you should just have if you're a hunter. Don't know if you necessarily would transmog with it, but it would be something to have. Um, so coming up on the second last boss here, we'll kill all this trash out here. There's 2 more packs. Once again, more purple gems that we will sell. Make my way up there in a second. The one thing I did like about this UI though is if anybody did chat with me in guild, I was able to see it. Now what I've done is I've turned the chat off from guild, just that way it doesn't show up and you can see all my loot and stuff in the window. I did kill the sentinels in the corner just because I was going after loot. There's I think it's a battering mace and then just some silver. So I think if I'm going for speed and efficiency, I don't think I'd kill those 2 just because they didn't give that much. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're making our way up towards the second to last boss, the Illidari Council. And then we'll make our way to Illidan and we'll be done with Black Temple for the first run for hunters. There are 4 guys you need to kill, and really just, and I think they share health too, because I didn't shoot one of them and they all died. So again, I got 2 Forest Prowlers helmets, so I sold one. There's the eyeball helmet, and I got 2 Leggings of the Forgotten, one for Protectors and one for Vanquishers. So Protector is Hunter, which is kind of weird, but you know. Also, in order to go to Illidan, which is the last boss, you have to talk to him and get him to run. He'll run up here, he'll do his Care Bear stare, and the door will eventually open. I'll let you watch. So 2 other broken come out and assist him. Not really sure what they're doing here in all honesty. I mean, I know they have to break the magical barrier that Illidan has put on the door, but I mean, I kind of feel like Illidan wanted them to come in. I don't know. It's not as nefarious as the Lich King allowing us to defeat his best minions to attempt to make us his own minions. But, you know. Also, this raid is weird because there's so many wide open spaces here. I liked it. I felt it was neat. But it looking back on it now, especially when you're soloing it, it seems kind of odd. Remember again to talk to him, not to skip ahead to Illidan because you will have to run back. Um, Thankfully, Illidan didn't bug out for me here. There's been times when I've fought him and you know the blades of Azeroth. There we go. Uh, Sometimes they bugged out on me and I wasn't able to kill them. I'm very thankful he didn't drop the Warglaives of Azeroth because I would have been pretty sad because hunters can't use them. So something else to kind of note is be prepared for that. So I got some really nice stuff here. The Memento of Teron. Let me organize this a little bit better. Believe that's a trinket, so that didn't really affect me too much. Um, but I did get the Zhar'doom's Greatstaff of the Devourer, Shroud of the Highborne, which I feel is a back, yes, and I got the Black Bow of the Betrayer. That's a really sweet, sweet bow. Um, and I got the Shard of Azzinoth, which is a dagger. It looks like if you took the Blades of Azzinoth, that you can see right there, and sharpened it down into a dagger, uh, that's what it would look like. It's a pretty sweet dagger. Very happy my rogue can actually rock that. Um, a lot of leatherworking and blacksmithing patterns drop from here as well. Um, Crystal Spire of Karabor also drops from here, and that's a neat looking instrument of pain. It's a one-handed mace. Hunters can't, unfortunately, equip those. So right now it's the role-playing portion of this fight where Illidan decides to have a heart-to-heart with Maiev about how she's been hunting him, and he has his infamous line, "You're finished because without what is a hunter without the hunt?" And then for some reason she runs up to him, and that just doesn't look right. I don't care who you are. They should have had some collision detection in place there. That way they could have been a little bit more further apart, just because it. Even if you're proposing to someone to marry them, you don't want to be that close, man. So appreciate everybody watching. We unlocked 23.33% of the items so far. Once I loot Illidan, that will go up a little bit higher. As always, thanks for watching the WoW Collector. Feel free to follow me on YouTube and on Twitch as well. 34.44% in our first run through the Black Temple as a hunter. There's the Devourer, Zhar'doom's Greatstaff of the Devourer that dropped. There's the Black Bow of the Betrayer. I wonder if I got the dagger in here as well. Yeah, there we go. The Shard of Azzinoth looks great, and when you're taller on a taller character, it does elongate the blade, so it looks nice. And there's that back piece as well. Just some great drops in here overall. Appreciate everybody watching the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave some comments down below. Happy collecting, and take care. Thanks, guys.